guys, it's HTOMario, and we're going to be showing you another turn against zerg. So in this part of the guide, we're going to show you a different variation you can do. You can say, oh, okay, in step number 2, we saw, oh, he's going heavy ground. Awesome. We're just going to throw down more factories and then get the starport. But what if you wanted to really continue the pressure instead of being super safe, and really push out units on the map? So one thing you can do to really harass him and do a lot of damage is you just drop the starport before the others, and this allows you to really abuse the other player. So we're going to watch this from our point of view. I used the SUV to kind of scout here because I thought maybe we could see a drone scouting, and we see the overlord, so we're like, okay, so he's over here. Here's a build order. You can see that in the first and second video. It's the same build order every single time. We're going to swap these out. Here come the Hellions, and here comes the Marine with the 2 reactors. So we're kind of scouting around. We're a little bit busy, so we're dropping the factories a little bit late. We weren't 100% sure. I think we wanted to delay our factories a little bit, but after the second set was building, we got the factory, so it doesn't matter. You either get the factories right before or right after. No big deal unless he has speed links. Clearing the watchtowers, and now we're keeping some back at home. So clearly we're convinced that he's got some speed links, maybe going around the map. We want to be 100% safe. Here comes the double tech lab. The reactor is a little bit late, it seems. I mean the armory. And with your Hellions, you have to look to see if there's a third. That's a great tip-off on what he's going, and then you can decide. So Blue Flame making 4 Hellions, so we're thinking, okay, we can do another bit of Hellion pressure because he's got this really good third. We see some Zerglings, nice. We kind of zip in here, do some damage, because we were pretty confident we could. We didn't see a lot of Zerglings. If you see a lot of Zerglings, you can't zip in and do this much damage. Then you kind of stick near the edge of the creep until you have an overwhelming amount of Hellions, and then you just, kill them. So we're getting siege tanks. We're pretty sure it's ground-based. We don't think there's any mutalisks out on the map yet. So we are getting some Hellions, and our armory was a little bit delayed. We forgot it for a little bit at a time. But as long as he's not going mutalisks, it's honestly, you can delay it, so it's not that big of a deal. Once the siege tanks are going, we have the refineries, and in a moment we will be getting a starport. So we kind of see this. Why are we killing the queen over the drones? The queen is larva, the queen is creep. You're effectively killing a lot of workers by killing the queen, as long as it's not an extra one. And the less queens you have, the less creep you have, so you're also effectively killing creep. We're beginning 2 Thors at a time, so right now we're not 100% sure. We saw some Zerglings, but we haven't seen any units for a while, so we don't know if it's like Roach, and we don't know if it's, or Mutalisk. Because, to be honest, all we saw was Zerglings. We didn't really see a sign of a lair. And I didn't want to spend a scan, so I just got 2 siege tanks, pretty good position, covering a lot of ground. And then I got 2 Thors. So instead of 1 at a time, I'm just getting 1 of each at a time. Instead of 1 Thor, 1 siege tank at a time, I'm getting 2 siege tanks and 2 Thors at a time. So here we see a lot of speedlings, and it's like, crap, maybe we're going to get stuck, but we managed to weasel a little bit through and deal just a little bit more damage. So we go, alright, here's another transition you can do. We decide, okay, here is your lair. It's not done. It's definitely not mutalisk yet. So what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and get a reactor and get a starport. And we are going to go into some drops. And here's the command center. So why are we getting this command center right now? Well, we've got the gas geysers. We got about 15 workers. And it's about 10-11 minutes. So we're getting the 3rd command center. Hellions. We're finishing off our last Hellions, trying to do what we can. We don't need them in the final fight anymore. We don't want to throw them away for free, but we can definitely sacrifice them. So we're thinking maybe, just maybe, he's going to go into Mutalisk off of this. So even though we're getting medevacs, we can still do like 2 Hellion drops and then cut medevac production if we see any sign of Mutalisk. And maybe go into like some Vikings or something. But if you also go to Mutalisk, medevacs aren't terrible because you have Thor help at medevac and they do a lot of damage. So we're going to send out the drops, And the drops are a really good way of scouting exactly what's going on. Now we resume siege tank production. Why? Because we're still not 100% sure. But again, as the previous game, we have 4 Thors, and we're getting some missile turrets. We're getting 3 missile turrets this time. I honestly think the 3 missile turrets is a little bit better. I do think that's what we should all go for. Here's another factory. We got another factory with a reactor. Right about the same time we got the starport. You know, the reactor we have to make by ourselves, so it's a little bit delayed, but it's for more hellbats. So we're going to go in and do a bit of a moving drop and see if we can do any damage. We're not doing too much, so we're just trying to micro a little bit with the hellbats and do what we can to take out a queen, because the queen means that we're taking, the medevacs are staying alive longer. At the same time, we're producing hellbats, medevacs, and getting our +2 upgrade. So we see a roach horde, so we're thinking, okay, maybe it's roaches, but then we see, oh, swarm host. All right. So we're pretty sure it's swarm host at this stage. And then we just kind of, try to do more damage with the hellbat traps. You never want to lose the medevac. Your goal is to not lose the medevac. You can see that once the medevac gets close to being down, I go ahead and move it out of the way. You do not want to lose the medevac. The medevac is pretty much, it's pretty much the most costly thing because it costs gas, and you're very gas starved. Minerals are not a problem, which is why the hellbat drops are a real great way to deal with things. I think I accidentally got 2 widow mines. But at the same time, while we were dropping, we were sending another drop over here, and we're sending another drop over here. Now this is unique, in a sense. Why are we dropping Thors? Well, we didn't see any mutalisk. We see something over here now. So now we know that he's getting mutas on the field. So we actually have, we had a drop over here, we have a drop over here, and we have a drop over here. So we're just mass dropping him in different locations, trying to keep up as much as we can. This is something that you can do if you want to practice a lot of EPM. So if he's not going mutalisks, that is the rule. If he does not have mutalisks, you can Thor drop. Otherwise, it has to stick to hellbats. So why a Thor drop? Well, they're pretty fast at killing buildings. So if you take a look at this, you know, you don't have to lose the Thor to do this. You can do as much damage as you can and retreat. This is just to kind of keep him busy. You're just trying to out harass your opponent at this stage. So if we sent the drop from the main back over here because he transferred those workers, and now we're over here, we're killing the mutalisk, and we decide, okay, what are we going to kill? Well, we don't have a lot of tanks. The infestation pit is the biggest thing. We don't want more swarm hosts, but he also doesn't have a lot of roaches, so let's just attack the roaches for a second. There's not a lot here. So we're going to kill the infestation pit, and we're getting rid of the medevacs. Why are we getting rid of the medevacs? Well, we know he's building a mutalisk count. We saw some mutalisks fly out. And we don't want to lose the Thors and the medevacs. We don't know if he can catch us out of guard, so we're just going to play it safe and get the medevacs back. And then we're going to try to aim to kill the Spire. So we're really hoping to kill the Spire here. And so he can't make more mutas, and that way we can continue our drops. Back at home, we've been macroing like a madman. We went ahead and got another reactor starport. I'm a really big fan of that. I love to make more Vikings or medevacs at a time. And there's the mutas. They did kill that, and then we end up taking this space, and we're actually going to double expand because we spent so much time making SEVs and units at the same time that we have, we have a lot of workers. In the meantime, we were making 73 workers, and we were only on 2 bases. So we're double expanding to kind of increase our income and spread our workers out more evenly. We have so many of them. We can also attack. Why are we confident we can attack? We've killed a lot of stuff. If you're not confident, you don't have to. You don't have to attack at all. You can just harass, but you have to attack later, but not right now. So there's some swarm hosts. We were pretty sure we killed most of the mutalisks. So we're back in the medevacs. We've got a lot of medevacs. This is one reason why I like double, starport. And I can lift a pretty large chunk of my army. So I'm like, okay, here are your swarm hosts. Let's take a scan. Nope, they're not actually there. He moved them back. So we're just going to drop on top of the swarm hosts. And we're going to lift up the Thor, the expensive unit that was getting kind of weak, and move in here. And at the same time, we're still macroing back at home. We've got a lot of mineral. We've got a lot of minerals and not so much gas. You can see why we want to save the medevacs, because we're producing so much. We just want to be extra careful with losing them. We don't want to throw away gas. As you can tell, minerals haven't been an issue pretty much the entire time. Alright guys, thanks for watching. This is another way to defeat Zerg and a way to optimize against it. Next we're going to see an actual game.